Hey guys, you may know me as Ophius, but this is the Carnivores Zone. Just a quick one-off video right now. I'm just going to go over how to navigate to the map files of the default games and of mods, just to access what the devs made for the first few games and what mod makers have made in the past, just for your modding convenience and observation. So we are going to go to any Carnivores mod folder. I'm going to be using just this Modders Edition 1.0.3 just because it's what I have on hand, but we're going to go into the game. We're going to go to Hunt Dat and then to Areas, and here you will see Area 1, Area 2, Area 3, Area 4, Area 5. I think this PRJ is my doing. I think I accidentally put that there. But that is just what the alt editor reads when you open a map. You're going to want to open the PRJ, but it's not there by default, so we'll go over that in a second. For now, I'm just going to remove it. So this is what you will find by default. So say we want to open Area 1 in MEE and in Carnivores 2. That means Delpheus Hills. So we will open the RSC editor and open this file here. So this is the RSC editor. It is a very old piece of software. I will link to it in the description, hopefully. Otherwise, you can find it in the Saga forums or Discord. But we will go to File, Open File, and then try to navigate to where this MEE is. So we're going to go to Files, that, Hunt Dat, and area1.rsc. Now, it's going to take a second to load the map. As you can see, it's loading the textures now. If you click anywhere on your screen, it's going to act like it's freezing up. Sometimes it will crash. Best practice is just not to click anywhere while it's loading, but sometimes it will act like it's crashing until it's actually done loading, and it will be fine. But here we are greeted with a sky texture. This kind of plays into the end of the last video where I was talking about skies. So real quick, if you want to save this sky, you can go here and you can select which sky you want. Pretty cool. And then you can say save. I like to do the highest bit BMP just in case. I don't really know what you're losing if you don't, but I like to do it just in case it's losing some quality. And then I'll just go to my desktop or wherever you want to save your file, and I'm just going to put Delpheus Sky Noon. And then you can obviously export dawn, day, night, whatever. But what we want here is the PRJ. Export data as PRJ is what we're going to do. And we're going to call it Area 1. Now, by default, it's going to save to my desktop. That's fine, but we're going to want to move it eventually. I'm just going to save it to the desktop. All right, and then we can minimize the RSC editor. We can kind of, tab that out or whatever. And then we have Area 1 PRJ right here. And we're going to just move it on in. And there we go. It'll take a second to kind of migrate with the rest of them, but there we see Area 1 map, Area 1 PRJ, and Area 1 RSC. This stands for project file, if that wasn't obvious. I don't know what RSC means, but it's what it is. So we're going to go back into Alt Editor. We're going to see some gameplay spoilers for the new Far North, because I am unprepared, but you guys get to see it anyway. Just soak it in while I'm trying to find my MEE 1.0.3. And here we have area1.prj. There we go. It's Delpheus Hills. And real quick, we'll look at some things. Here is the height map. Here is it without water. Pretty cool looking. You can see up here, this is where the walls for the fort are. This is that little chasm area. Here's that swamp. I really like these kind of shorter Cliffs of Dover looking things up here. I really like the way they did that. You can see the mountains, obviously, where there's water. It's all black. Pretty cool. Just worth looking at. I would definitely save all of the default height maps. I'll try to get them together in a folder as well. But I would definitely look at those for as much as you want. Take as much inspiration from them as you want. As you can see, there's some pretty cool little riverine, little stream looking things here. This is where I think that they probably did take some real life height maps. They reused a lot of them, so I think they probably only had access to maybe a couple, which is pretty funny. But as you can see here, this is probably where they drew things, up here too. But as far as I can tell, this is real height map. This is drawn in. And again, it doesn't really matter how the height map looks as long as the map plays well, and I really do think Delpheus Hills is a pretty damn good map. Anyway, there are some textures over here, as you can tell. If you want to use these, you can get them through the RSC editor, but it's a lot easier in All Editor. You can go to Resource up here and save current texture, and we won't save them today, but just go to whatever file you want to put them in and name them whatever you want to name them, and you will have them at your disposal to use in other maps. Over here, there are objects to do the same thing with. I did this a lot in my early modding days. I still do it. For the most part, I find it very easy to just reuse default assets instead of making my own. I am not that good at that, so I would definitely recommend it. There's a lot of good little guys in here. And eventually I will try to get a folder of those together as well, but for now you're just going to have to source them yourself. As far as I know, there is no resource for that, but there could be. There probably is. I'm just ignorant. But yeah, that is Delpheus Hills, opened in Alt Editor 2. You can do it with any other map. It's kind of harder for the Carnivores 1 maps, but with things like Reloaded, or Carnivores Plus, or Legacy, or there is just a file of the extended Carnivores 1 maps with just them in the corner and blank space everywhere else. You can open them that way. Otherwise, pretty much every other map should play out like this. There's a couple that go over the object limit that are a little harder to open. We will go over that sometime in the future. I can't promise when. But yeah, as for that, I think that's the end of this video. I hope you learned something today, and I'll catch you guys next time.